Well, finally, more than a week after Election Day, one of the most closely watched races in Arizona has its winner. The Associated Press declared Kathy Hoffman as the winner of the race for Superintendent of Public Instruction. The Valley teacher is leading with 54,000 votes over Republican Frank Riggs, and she declared victory yesterday, crediting the Red for Ed movement.
So here to talk with us about her plan to lead Arizona schools is Kathy Hoffman, which is so incredible that you were a first-time candidate for office. You're an educator, and you decided to just go for it. You were going to bypass, the school boards and go straight to lead the state school system. So congratulations to you.
Thank you. And this would not have been possible without all the support of my volunteers, my incredible campaign team, and I feel that this is a win for all teachers and students across the entire state.
And getting so many votes, what does that tell you about the state of education and how much people care here in Arizona?
It absolutely tells me how much people care, especially for public education. And to me, what I saw was that a lot of people crossed party lines, and I always kept my race very focused on the issues, always talking about my students, my colleagues as educators, and my experiences. And I think what the numbers have shown us is that people were crossing party lines and maybe voting for a Republican governor, but then thinking, well, for education, what type of person do I want leading our schools?
This was an interesting race from the get-go because Diane Douglas, who currently holds the position, lost her bid to run for re-election, so she didn't get her party's nomination. Have you had any interaction with her? Have you been able to take anything away from either her successes or failures as to how you want to move forward in this role?
I look forward to speaking with her, and I hope that we have a smooth transition when I take office in January, and we'll be talking, I'm sure, before then. But the biggest lesson to me is that what I felt was missing as an educator was having a strong pro-public education voice coming from the Department of Education. I see a huge opportunity there and so one of my goals will be to travel this state and highlighting all the amazing achievements of our teachers and our students and different programs, both here in the Valley and across the state and in every corner.
So we see in the media the low ranking for Arizona education, the schools here. We hear in the media what teachers want and what students want, but in talking to students and talking to teachers, fellow teachers, what do they tell you that they would like to see you do?
Well, there's so many different pieces to that. You know, we are dealing with a very serious teacher shortage, teacher crisis. When I travel to rural parts of the state, they talk about issues with teacher housing, transportation. I know a big concern for a lot of teachers is workload, because you can love your job as much as you want, but if you are drowning in work, if you have no time with your family because you are constantly grading, or if you feel so overwhelmed that you have over 40 kids in your class and it's just impossible to stay on top of things, and you as a teacher feel that you're not doing what's best for the kids, then that's heartbreaking. That's not sustainable, and that's why we see such a high turnover rate of teachers, and so that's something we need to be taking very seriously.
How do you plan to work with Governor Ducey on this and still be the vocal advocate for this Red for Ed movement that kind of, buoyed you to the position you're in now?
I plan to work very cooperatively with him. I think it's great that we have a fresh start here, a great opportunity to see where we can find areas of compromise. But of course, I will be down there lobbying for our public schools. And it was great to see that Governor Ducey did signal that he would also like to see charter school reforms. We're both calling for more transparency and accountability of our charter schools. So that's an area where we can start, and let's see what we can get done, because I think at the end of the day we both want to do what's best for public education, and I know that he has stated he wants to be known, have a legacy of someone who is pro public education, and so I think there's opportunity there.
So he got the 20 by 2020 approved, the 20% pay raise. Were you happy with that? And where would you like to see it go from there?
It was a great start, and I would like it to keep going further. I'm going to be looking at teacher benefits, including health care and retirement, looking at paid paternal and maternal leave for our young parents that are teachers. And so I look at it as a broader issue than just simply teacher pay. And I also want to factor in that our support staff, including our paraprofessionals, bus drivers, office staff, they did not qualify for that 10% raise. And so that's another next step for us.
There's such a difference in disparity as we wrap up district to district in terms of teacher-student ratio. Is there any standard that you would like to see to set as a goal, maybe for the, towards the end of your tenure across the board in Arizona? I mean, it just seems like we have fallen behind and we've just accepted this.
Yeah. I wish that that's where we could start, but I think where we have to start is the teacher shortage, because we can't lower the teacher to student ratio if there's no teacher there.
Yeah.
And I know when I've traveled this state, I was recently at a rural high school in Mayer where the seniors told me that they have already had 11 different science teachers
Really?
Wow.
in 4 years. And so we need to solve that issue of the revolving door of teachers and see how can we bring more teachers into our schools so that then we can lower classroom sizes. I think there's a chain of events that will make that possible.
Well, Kathy, congratulations. We look forward to talking to you in the future about what you're doing with the schools here.
Yeah,
and thank you for joining us.
And when you get into the grind of it, the funding is going to be the biggest challenge, obviously, right?
Yes, it is. But I look forward to coming back and sharing everything we're accomplishing in the months to come.
Please
All right,
do.
Sounds good.
And
Thank you
congratulations
so much.
to you and to the
Thank you.
teachers who supported you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We'll take a quick break. We've got more Good Morning Arizona right after this.